Yeah, it's another video here from Bruce, the Tokyo Real Estate Man, okay? And I'm actually today we're shooting here. This camera I have here, like once I start the video, I can't really change directions right now. But I'm shooting today from my apartment in Shibuya right there. You see my purple wall right there. And I'm going to walk here through my kitchen right there. My wife likes to keep a nice and clean house. Right there you can see a little thing of the lights that I've been selling and making right there. For what I did with the lights is in order to make the product, I started in experimenting with the product inside my units. And behind you here, or behind me, you here, is over my shoulder is Ebis right there. Okay. And I guess we'll just walk here into my office area. This is my fashion company, Shibuya Republic right there. And then right here, over here, I'll turn around so you can see it. These are just some of the computers that we make and what have you. And over my shoulder right here, this is the reason I want to do it right here. Over my shoulder this way, he's looking right there into the Shibuya station is right back there, and that is the development. The major development that is happening over the station right there. Now, I think that my internet buddy, Form of Fist, yesterday made a really good. I'm going to try to get in a point here where we can get some decent light where you can see me. And you can see my production, not quality, right now for making videos. This is truly YouTube and not. It sucks. Okay. This is going to be a little bit of my comments on what I think of the Vancouver real estate market, just looking at it from afar. Now, if you don't know, if you never watched any of my videos before, I don't really, not many people do. I don't think I got about 20 people follow my channel. But I own a lot of real estate here in Tokyo, and that's how I make my living, just managing my units and. Well, not only that, I'm in the fashion and the building business as well. And I do sales, but I'm not a real estate agent, as it were. I just run in. I talk to a lot of people because they know I do real estate. And then if they're interested in buying like a Tokyo apartment, I have like Japanese partners that to basically take care of everything. Now, coming back to the subject at hand yesterday. Now, I have my wife is Japanese, and I have two kids, and since they were young, I was always careful to speak English with them. But I wanted them to come to Vancouver this summer because I hadn't been away from Japan for almost 5 years right now, and I thought that this might be a good time for me to buy a unit there in Vancouver. And I looked at the market, and I saw it very crowded at the $600,000 or $650,000 level. I was going to buy a bottom end of the market unit that I thought that I could be there, stay there for 2 months, and while I'm there for the 2 months, like set the unit up for a rental unit when I leave in September. So I thought maybe the timing was pretty good for it. So I started to look around. Now I got really confused when I started looking because I saw a lot of stuff parked or at this $600 to $650,000 level, and some of it I thought it was worth it. There was one particular unit on Beatty Street that I saw for $600,000, like a brick loft but I was not able to do rentals there for until you at least own the unit for at least 2 years. And then I saw another one for $650,000 at Burrard and Robson Street in an older building, the kind of buildings that I like brick, and I like the older stuff with brick and stuff like that. That got a lot of that heritage feel to it. I really like that. Actually really like that style, like that Gastown and Yaletown style in Vancouver. I really do like that style. You don't really see that here much in Tokyo, other than in fake sort of pieces of brick on the wall, because earthquakes brick is dangerous. You can't have it here. So I saw a couple of units there that I thought were really worth it, and then some of the stuff in Yaletown, I thought that for $600,000 the location is really good, but then the unit size was around 400 square feet. Well, I preferred like a little bigger layout than that. But I also saw a lot of like what I would consider shite parked at that sort of level right there. Now, I want to say that I'm not a huge real estate bear. Okay, like I know, like for example, I'm heavily invested here in Shibuya, uh, and I always like to, when you're investing, I like to invest in areas where I see the demographic growing. Like I said in some of my commentary over time, uh, Japan is shrinking, but the population of Shibuya is growing at 1% a year, and they expect that to at least continue into 2040. And then with the new development here, for example, right, they're trying to get the A-list IT companies to come in here into Shibuya, and so there's going to be probably, I'm guessing, like $4,000 5,000 people per building working in those units, and a lot of them are going to be highly paid jobs, so they're going to want to live close to there. So that's going to put a lot of rent pressure on both the rental and sales market here in Shibuya. So I see the same thing in Vancouver. I watch videos like Form of Fist and Steve Soretsky, and that, like when they said there is a lot of supply that's going to come online, or the government is putting a lot of sort of blockages in the way, or like they're trying to douse demand by creating legislation or what have you. But I still find like downtown Vancouver, for example, a buy, because if the space is or the population, for example, in Vancouver is downtown Vancouver continues to grow at 1% a year, like even if they can bring more supply on, like I see it as a good investment. Uh, Not only do I see it as a good investment, I just see that people are always going to want to live there because it's just such a great place to live. I mean, like to have like access to the Stanley Park or access to the seawalls and stuff like that is something that like this. This is for example, this is A1 real estate in Tokyo, right outside here. This is Shibuya. This is the most expensive real estate that you're going to have in Japan. Okay, but we still don't have access to like the ocean or anything like that, like you would in Vancouver or something like that. So I just see it as a buy, and that like I see that over the next, I'm 48, so if I'm lucky to live another 30, 40 years, but I can never see the demand for that neighborhood going down. So I think that it is a buy for people who want to live there, but I'm not thinking right now that it might not be a buy for me, in that I don't live there, okay, and I can never live there because I can never leave Tokyo, okay. And I also noticed that right now, for $3,000 a month, the quality of unit that you'd get in Vancouver for your rental price is better. Okay, for $3,500 a month, even into a high point of the summer, means I could probably stay in a 30th floor apartment in Cole Harbor. Okay, that's better deal uh, than the BD Street one or the one on Burrard Street. In terms of its experience, I'm not saying that the Burrard Street unit didn't have value. That one certainly did in my eyes. Okay, like that's just the A1 location in the world, in the English speaking world. It really is. But like for a 2 month experience, that the fact that for $3,000 or $3,500 a month, you can be on the 37th floor, I believe it was in, overlooking Cole Harbor. That's a pretty good experience, and then I could take my kids and my wife to the English world. So for me right now, a Vancouver buy is not a good thing, because like as Form of Fist referred to in his video, I am heavily, or not heavily, but like I have a very sizable position in the stock DFN, which is the blue chip Canadian dividend fund, okay, that pays monthly. Okay, so the way I look at it is, my DFN position in a way is equal to a Vancouver apartment. Okay, so if my Vancouver apartment rental is $3,000 a month, okay, then, and the DFN dividend payout is then offsets that. Okay, so but that's just for me, because I don't live there. I now live in Tokyo, and it's hard for me to leave here because I'm heavily invested in real estate, and real estate is, no matter what you say, is like on the ground work, and I self-manage everything. So if there's a problem, I have to go and deal with it. However, if I was working in Vancouver, okay, and I had a decent job, I would get a place there because I just think it's. Even when I left Vancouver, I was always sad. I always knew what I was leaving. I wanted to leave because I wanted to go do other stuff, but like I knew when I was leaving, I can remember the first 2 years that I came back to Vancouver, how much I really enjoyed staying with a couple of friends of mine in downtown Vancouver in the 1990s. And the fact that I went out for a run around the Stanley Park seawall back in those years I was into marathon running, I can just tell you how excited and what a great feeling I had just staying and living down there. So I think it's a buy. But for me, my life is just different now. I have kids, and they go to school here in Shibuya, so it's really not about me. I can't make decisions, for the fact that I'd liked living in downtown Vancouver in the 1990s now because my kids and my wife. My wife doesn't even really speak English, so. So it seems to me now that the better thing for me to do over the next is to keep just over the next couple of years is keep adding to my DFN position, right? And every time I want to go to the two places that I really like to go to, I like to go to Vancouver and I like to go to Waikiki. I love Hawaii, right? Like as long as I can keep investing in those monthly dividend pairs, I can keep getting a better and better apartment. But having said that, like I think that like if you live in Vancouver, you can buy a place, like I said earlier, and you can get a decent financing. I think it's a good time to lock in right now because if the interest rates go up, but you know what? I don't think they're going to go up. I think that they might actually go down. Yeah. But like I'm not, like I'm just one guy, and I don't know everything about it. Like. But this is the video in response to that. Thank you.